Rise and shine, they say. So, on today's video, we're gonna end up, I have this trailer and I haven't used it in probably about a year. So just yesterday I came in, re-greased the bearings, tightened the axle nut just to make sure it's ready to roll. They ended up stealing my side marker lights right there, so I ended up replacing those, and then they ended up stealing my plate too. So from what it's been sitting, you know. But yeah, today we're gonna go pick up 3 cars from IAA, and we're delivering it to here out in my county, and it's pretty much a straightforward day. You know, 3 cars, inoperables. Well, that's how I treat them. So right now, I already did my walkthrough, but I figured I'll do it with you guys. But yeah, I've had this trailer for, this is the one that actually started me off when I was first new to the game as a enclosed, or not enclosed, I'm sorry, auto hauler. So this one is a gooseneck. You can't see it, but I got the B&W gooseneck, so it detaches from the pin that's on the side here on the bottom, and then you can swap out the 5th wheel head and then just drop in the 30,000 pound gooseneck ball. It's a 3-inch receiver, so it's pretty straightforward. Ain't nothing to it other than just to do it. So as of right now, we're pretty much ready to rock and roll. It's snowing up in the pass, so it's gonna be a day. That's why it's 3 in the morning right now, and I'd imagine we'd probably be in IAA about 7, 8 o'clock. So anyways, let me get this thing dialed in, and we'll hit the road. Boys, we officially made it here 30 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago. So I got one strap for car 1. I'm gonna have it facing backwards, so the weight isn't sitting too far on the back end of the truck. And the other car, which is car number 2, I'm also gonna have it sitting backwards where the engine is facing downwards. Same scenario, so most of the weight can get absorbed by the axles. And then the third car, we'll have it facing upwards. Again, just to keep all the weight absorbed in here. This thing's rated for 14 or 16,000 pounds, I can't remember. So I can only do so much on the rear end of the truck. So I'm only strapping one going that way, the other one's going upwards on front wheel drives. Same scenario, it's a front wheel drive also, so one that way, the other one that way, backwards. And then the car number 1. So car number 1, I think it's a Honda Insight, something like that. And then the other one's gonna be a Chevy Cruze. And then the last one's a Chrysler 200.
God bless, we're breaking these runs. Life too short to play on speed run. Only get one, no option to rerun. With Babylon goes too high to reach some. Down to earth, stay grinding when storms come.
Right before I get on the truck, I'm gonna put my gloves away and give you guys a quick walkthrough. So, got this one strapped down over the tire, hook on, over, tire, and all that fun jazz. Trying to make it quick, guys, I'm sorry. Again, over the tire, onto the last one. And that's all it is on both sides. Same thing with the ramps. I kind of just crossed them, so anyways, I kind of skipped that process with you guys simply because these guys are busy. One thing I would like to point out is if you're hauling these cars, right, because they're pretty much cars that have been wrecked, so there's really not much you can do to save them as far as, you know, how you find them and how you get them and transport them. You need to consider and be like really mindful that once the car's loaded on you, you're pretty much responsible. It ain't gonna be like you changed your mind and, you know, hey, I can't pick it up anymore because of XYZ reason. With that being said, make sure, for one, you can handle the load and the responsibilities that come with it, because you you got to make sure these cars have nothing loose as far as something coming apart, like a front bumper. You know, have extra bungees or straps or something that you can accommodate a loose item on the car, whether it's a hood or bumper, a door, something that's not latching right, you know, or maybe even a tire that's halfway out where you can't really do much about it, because for one, they won't let you work on the car on site. So that's why I'm making this a point. Two, these in-op cars can be and will be a pain on the rear end to deal with, no matter what way you look at it. You know, yeah, you can always be over prepared, that's never the problem. However, there's always a new challenge from time to time that's going to catch you off guard, and you kind of have to be able to accommodate that for the day. You can't just, you know, for instance, you can't just think to yourself that, oh, well, because I can't accommodate this, then I'm just going to leave the car here. It just doesn't work like that, unfortunately. There's a rule, you know, once you have it on your back, it's on your back. That's it. And there ain't nothing you can do about that. So that's why I make it a point with hauling these cars, is that's the only downfall about them. But other than that, I mean, you know, if you got a winch, even better. If you got somebody that can help you offload from, you know, the point of destination, even greater, because sometimes these cars, you know, you'll have one that's got a broken suspension. You can't just move it and roll it off. It just doesn't work like that, unfortunately. So just things to consider if you're looking into getting into hauling cars for a Copart or IAA. You know, there is a lot of challenges from time to time, and quite frankly, even myself doing this for 3 years almost, I get caught off guard from time to time, and it just is what it is. You can't complain about it. You just take it with a grain of salt and deal with it as the days, you know, goes by, and it is what it is. So anyways, I just thought I'd point that out. And by the way, same scenario as the RVs. Check the VIN number that's on the paperwork from what's given to you. You don't want to take the wrong car, or better yet, pick up the wrong car, because then you're really in some deep trouble there. And believe me, you don't want to be driving 100, 200 miles down the road, come to find out you got the wrong unit, and they're calling you back. That you don't want, because they're not going to pay you for it. That's definitely deadhead miles for sure. So anyways, let's get back on the road, and yeah, I'll give you guys an update once I'm out there. Alright, we got an update. So we ended up dropping them off here, and again, I can't showcase the address and all that, but we offloaded everything, checked out the way it should have. So now that the numbers are still fresh on my mind, I spent from Moses Lake over to Puyallup and back over into Othello. I spent roughly about just under, no, I want to say not even under, right at the $200 mark on fuel. So it wasn't anything crazy, but yeah, out here in Washington State, you know, fuel's about $4.30 a gallon, or diesel, I should say. I'm sorry. However, the overall weight, I looked up the curb weight on each car before I even picked them up, just to kind of see where I'm getting myself into as far as the weight goes. And yeah, it's about just under 13,500 pounds. That is with the trailer included. So on average, I was, without cars, just the truck and the trailer, I was doing about 12.5 miles to the gallon. With cars, the 3 cars, I was doing about, if my memory serves me right, about 9 on the hills and 10.5 on flat ground, something along the line of that. We'll just say 9.5, or, you know, just to round up the hard number there. So it wasn't too terrible. I don't think it was too terrible. Could it have been better? Yeah, I probably could have been better, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. So it is what it is. All right, let's yeah, so that's kind of what it's been. And I got her done under, what, I left around 3 in the morning, so yeah, 12 hours. Again, the winter doesn't really let you work as you should, as, you know, as comfortable, I should say. It just don't. So anyways, that wraps up the video, guys. If you guys found it useful, hit the thumbs up button. Anything you'd like to know, comment down below and I'll be on the lookout. Subscribe to the channel. Like I told you guys, I'll do my best to keep it moving and bring up the day-to-day content. And So anyways, may the Lord bless you, and I'll catch you on the next one.